So, hey everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. Today name is Erik Thor, and today we're going to talk about the intuitive project of the INFJ, the INTJ, the ENTJ, and the ENFJ personality types. So, I want to talk about that of vision and having something you're set out to do and having something you are meant to intellectually achieve. So the NJ type is an intuitive and a judging type, and inside that personality, inside that psychology, is this aim, this intellectual pursuit, this theoretical kind of goal or target that you have in your head, something you conceptualize, something you thought about, something you've been curious about for a long time. And let me tell you, like, even if you're an INFJ or even if you're an ENTJ, this project is really, really, really hard to maintain. It's hard to maintain because it's so easy to lose sight of your visions, of your ideas, of your goals. And why do we lose sight? Well, we look up at our phones instead. We realize we have other things to do. We have chores, we have routines, we have practical matters to take care of. We have people that need us. We feel forced to. We believe that we are and have to take care of other things. We have in our head, we have all these conceptualized musts that keep us from really spending time on our intellectual projects and on really devoting ourselves to it. So I meet and I encounter a lot of INFJs and INTJs out there that have great intellectual ambitions, but never really have the time to realize it. You know, any type can relate to this in part, that we have things we want to do, things that we enjoy doing, and then we have things we feel forced to do. Everyone has that. But what the ENTJ wants to do is to devote time to their ideas and to the realization and the discovery and pursuit and search and study of their ideas and where they might lead. So you have the NJ5s, and they're all about analyzing their vision or their project and understanding it and what it is and getting knowledge from it and learning from the journey and from that process. You have the 7s that love to go out of curiosity. NJ7s, they love to test out, to understand, to explore, to see where it's going, to really just jump into it and see where it takes you. Just see where it leads you, see where it goes. But all of these types, all NJ types, we struggle with the aspects of reality and actions that need to be taken in reality. And here's the thing, like, reality is constantly hitting you with something to do. So you look around you and you see things that need to be done. You look at people around you and you see people that need your help. You look around you and you see people that are struggling with something. What I find myself doing over and over is I look at people and I see that they need my help, and I feel caught up in their ideas and their struggles and their issues and their concerns. And then I start putting myself into their situation, into their shoes. And then I start trying my best to help them and to fix problems for them and to solve issues for them. And I keep doing this over and over. You know, what I find myself realizing in all of this is soon I've spent every hour of the day doing this. Spend every hour responding to calls, helping out friends, showing up, being places, going to places, doing things, you know. Over and over, I feel caught up in this struggle that is not being able to set boundaries. If there's any issue that I felt in myself, in my life, it has been the struggle of setting intuitive boundaries. And that is just letting other people know, I can help you, but not right now. I can be there and I would love to help you out, but I would need an hour to do this first. Or, yeah, I would really love to meet up or to hang out with you, but right now I want to take some time towards my intellectual project. So my struggle is I never really get the time to engage in my ideas, or I sometimes find myself feeling like, yeah, I keep trying to start and I keep trying to, but something keeps coming up. And so I have to stop, and so I have to get out, and then I have to do this, and then I have to do that. And then I try to sit down again, and I try to do it again, but then something else comes up and I have to do that. So what ends up being, I spend 5 minutes, and then 7 minutes, and then 8 minutes, and then 2 minutes. And every time I just keep getting distracted over and over. I keep getting distracted. And what happens is I never get any kind of momentum behind my vision. So I never get the time to draw it up properly. I never get the time to really develop it, to really get into it, to really think it through. What I'm looking for is essentially the chance to go to my own private cabin, to go to my own room, to sit in my own place, to spend time somewhere where I can just really get inside my own head and really take the time for my ideas and really give them the attention they deserve. Behind every gifted writer, behind every successful person that's published something, that has really done something, really gotten something done, there's been this ability to get closure and to really sit down and to really work through things and to really push themselves into it. And let me tell you something. I thought that I would have a published book when I was 18 years old. That was my goal. I loved to be a writer. I have wanted to be a writer. I wrote every day. I still write every day. But I've never really gotten the closure to write a book. I've never really gotten the closure to sit down to get it done. What keeps happening is I get 20 pages in, and then reality takes over, and I get caught up in things, and suddenly I have to go there, and I have to do that, and I have to be there. And then the book was never finished, and the idea faded, and it never got the momentum it deserved, so it never happened. And that's the idea has changed now, and now it's something else, and now it's a new book. And yeah, that's how it goes over and over. And it's a struggle. I'm not saying I don't get time to my intellectual projects. Obviously I do. I made at this point thousands of videos. Okay, I haven't published all of these videos, but I made thousands of videos, and thousands of minutes of videos, and I made written articles. I've written thousands and thousands of articles on top of that. I was looking through the statistics just now, and did you know how many people tune in to watch within a month? So at this point, about 90,000 people coming to my YouTube channel every month. People tune in 90,000 times to my YouTube channel. And then on my website, that's an additional 1,000 to 2,000 people a day. So that's an additional 30 to 60,000 people that tune in to read, study, learn, explore, just all those things. So obviously things are happening, and obviously I am creating. But I still feel myself struggling in a sense that I have never really been able to formulate a bigger picture. I've never really been able to create something that I felt truly proud of. I've never really been able to get the finger on what I was doing. And you know what I have to realize in all of this? That I'm just... How old am I again? I forget. I keep forgetting. I'm 26 years old. I wanted a book published when I was 18. Come on, what was I thinking? Sorry, I can't even talk. Why was I in such a rush? When it comes to that question of losing sight of your vision, well, obviously, an INFJ is not just an intuitive judging type. We're more than that. We're introverted intuitives. We're introverted feelers. We're feeling judging types. So it makes sense, all the sense in the world, that I also want to help people out. And it makes sense that I also want to understand theoretically. It makes sense that I also want to be a guide to people. It makes sense that I want to be and remain idealistic. It makes sense that I want to engage in theoretical pursuits, and all those things make sense. But from like, it's like your head is a little bit split in different pieces, because one side of you is annoyed that you're working on theoretical prospects when you should be focusing on your visions and realizing your ideas. Why are you thinking so much about something when you should be going out and realizing it? Why are you spending so much time um, why are you spending so much time thinking about it when you should be being more more present to other people, being more understanding, being more often there for other people? uh, why are you communicating so much, making so many videos when you should be taking time to do this or that? Like, all those things can keep hitting at you. You can start feeling bad because you're doing one thing. You feel bad from the other side because you're doing that. Whenever you're doing anything, you can start feeling bad. Something I realized is, okay, existential anxiety. What I've struggled with, I think, since I was a kid, has not been existential anxiety. I'm happy I'm alive. I'm thrilled to be here. I've always had a big desire to live and to understand life and to be here and to just, be a part of everything and to enjoy it as long as it lasts. But I've also always had existential guilt. An existential guilt, what's that? It's like, okay, you can sum it up as feeling sorry you exist, but it's not necessarily that bad for me. It's just that I feel that I have a duty, or I have a responsibility, or I have to make the most out of things, or I have to be the best person I can be, and I have to make sure I make the most out of every minute, and I have to make sure I don't waste time. I have to make sure that I, all these things. When you're not doing that, that's when the guilt can hit at me. And I've read that guilt is a lot better than shame. Shame is the sense that I'm a bad person. I don't have shame. I don't feel like I am a bad person. I used to have shame, but I think I don't anymore. What I have is guilt. And the difference is, guilt is, I should have done this. I should have done that. I should have been there. I should have helped out there. I should have been there for that person when they experienced that. And I should have been able to help out more. And I should have understood something that I didn't understand at the time. And that's like that's the whole thing. What I read was from Benny Brown was so interesting, was that the guilt comes from being able to have empathy and to see other people's perspective and to take on other people's perspective and to have perspective. Perspective is not just perception. It's not just understanding. Perspective is a kind of viewpoint. So it is having having a good viewpoint, having a good understanding of someone or something or another person. So it's something that is in itself personal. It's not just information. It's where are you looking at this information from? From what emotions, from what feelings, from what experiences, from what situation, from the fact that I am this old, from the fact that I am this personality type, from the fact that this and that and that. So perspective taking, that's something that comes from I would say introverted feeling, and from your values, or from whatever your values are. So introverted thinking could work here as well, but just being able to look at something with values and with experience, with motive, with personality, with character behind it. So perspective taking is seeing another person's experience from how they are experiencing it, or from an idea that something is good or bad, or something matters, or something is important and something else is not important. When you're just looking at something, when you're just observing or defining it, some people get really stuck in that. They're just living in their heads. Everything is just something to be proven or tested or experimented with or understood. Everything is just a theory. Everything is just an existential thing, when you have introverted feeling as an INFJ and you start integrating that, or as an INFP for that matter, what tends to happen is the introverted feeling tends to give you the feeling that things matter and things are important. So what I've been doing is I've been writing these new articles. When you visit my website, erikthor.com, what you're seeing is all these new subtype descriptions. So this is for the INTJ. There's the observer, there's the decider, there's the actor, there's the reviewer. But then you can go to the INFP page, for example. And here you see like the INFP cognitive functions. I keep saying this over and over. INFP cognitive functions, they're introverted intuition, introverted feeling, feeling perceiving, intuitive perceiving. There you have it, black and white. It's not just introverted feeling. An INFP cannot just be reduced to introverted feeling. An INFP has so much more inside them than just introverted feeling. They have introverted intuition, they have intuitive perceiving, they have feeling perceiving. They are catalysts, they are artists, they are reporters, and they are philosophers. All these sides are equally important to the INFP. You can never really hierarchify them. You can never really say to an INFP, just go for introverted feeling and it's all good. You can never say to an INFP, disregard introverted intuition, because that's an INFJ thing. You can never say to an INFP, oh, you don't really need intuitive perceiving. That's more something an ENFP could use. You can never say these things. Because all of them will make so much intuitive sense to the INFP. You're going to need an introverted feeling, because otherwise you're going to feel empty and like nothing matters, nothing is important, nothing has any point. Without introverted feeling as an INFJ, you feel like shit, because you're just doing things. You're going towards your vision, you're realizing your ideas, you're taking time on intellectual projects, but you're realizing nothing matters. So when I was the most engaged with YouTube, and when I was putting 70 hours a week into YouTube videos and my website last summer, I made these videos where I said, I don't know the point anymore. So that's how I was feeling. I was going to intuition and judging as an INFJ. I was going to intuition and judging. And I was going there at the expense of introverted feeling. So I was realizing my vision, but I was losing perspective on why I was doing what I was doing and for what reason. I didn't know, so that's when I started taking time, and that's when I started really taking time to appreciate important things in my life. And what I'm realizing is this balance process between all these four, they represent an important internal conflict that we're all going through. We are all going through like internal conflict, because we keep forgetting about different parts of ourselves. We find the time to reclaim one of them, and then we start pursuing that one, and then we start forgetting about the others. We start then changing things around. We start reevaluating. We start taking things in, and then after doing that, we start realizing, oh, I lost sight suddenly of that side again. So it's that back and forth. And what you're looking at, of course, is without them, you're not going to be happy. Without the introverted feeling, there's nothing matters. But without the vision, it's like you feel stuck, locked in, like you're not getting anywhere, like you're just living the same day over and over. Or without the introverted intuition, it's like nothing makes sense. You don't know anything anymore. You don't know what's right or wrong anymore. You don't know why you're here, or what the world is, or what you're doing with your life. Or if you're really deep into say introvert intuition, but not in feeling judging, what's going to happen is you're going to start feeling like you don't matter to anyone, and that no, you're not important, and you're never going to achieve anything. You're just going to keep going through everything over and over, and you're never going to make something out of yourself. So what you're looking for is the balance between, the ambitiousness inside of you, the courage inside of you, the curiosity inside of you, the empathy inside of you. You're just looking through, puzzling these things out. And you have to keep going through these things, asking yourself, have I lost sight of my vision? Am I retaining perspective? Do I know why I'm doing it? Do I feel satisfied with where I am right now? Do I feel like I am being an impact to other people? Like, you have to think about these things, because these are like the most important matters of life. Money is not important, work is not important, those things, they don't matter as much as you think. School is not as important as you think. All those practical matters that you have, none of them matter as much as you do. So nothing matters as much as your happiness and your inner peace of mind, and your self-love and self-acceptance, and your ability to love yourself and to love other people as an extension, to be able to appreciate life and to celebrate life, to be able to live life to the fullest, to be able to be the best person and the best version of yourself, to be all those things. That's the most important. So just remember, keep reminding yourself why you're doing what you're doing, and you won't lose sight of your vision. You won't lose sight of your ideas. You won't lose sight of what you're doing. And that's going to be growth for you. And properly, that's going to mean you're going to do better at school, and it's going to mean that you're going to perform better at work, and it's going to mean that you're going to be more present in relationships, and it's going to mean that you're going to be more there for other people than you were before. But it's just going to mean it's going to make sense, and you're going to have balance in doing all these things, and you're not going to beat up on yourself as much anymore while doing it. So this is what I had to say in this video. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks to all my May patrons, all people that came together, all 34 people who left pledges, 37 people who left pledges this month on Patreon. And thanks to all 130,000 people that tune in every month. Thanks to all the people on Discord who write, I don't know how many messages every day. You guys are ridiculous. You're keeping me true to myself, and you're helping me keep diving deeper and help remaining clear and help reminding myself of who I am. So thanks for that. And I hope to see you all in my next video. It's not going to be tomorrow because I've got an anniversary date, my 2-year anniversary with my girlfriend. It's going to be great.